I'm pretty excited. Is it everything we want? I don't think so, but it just shows that we are moving in the right direction.
I think that it's great. Everybody should have the same rights, gay couples, straight couples, the whole shot.
The state haven't approved it. You got to go by what the state laws is. Until they pass it, I mean, it is what it is.
A lot of strong reaction today after the Supreme Court struck down the Federal Defense of Marriage Act, at least part of it, ruling it's unconstitutional to deny federal marriage benefits to same-sex couples who are legally married in states that recognize that union. We're joined by our legal expert, attorney Ray Giudice. It's a victory to some extent. It's a good day, but not a total victory.
For proponents of same-sex marriage, it's a big day.
Yes.
It's not total victory, but significant rulings in their favor on both. Let's talk about DOMA first.
Yes.
Supreme Court has clearly stated that if a state, let's take the state of New York where this case, the Windsor case, emanated from, if the state of New York recognizes that marriage legally, then that couple is entitled to federal benefits. In this case, it was tax treatment out of an estate tax problem. A couple actually married in Canada. The Canadian marriage was validated by the state of New York. DOMA is gone for that subsection. It says federal benefits for lawfully married couples of either sex, any sex.
But in Georgia,
That's
this
right.
state does not recognize that
That's
union.
right, and you've led us to the next Supreme Court case somewhere down the road where a couple legally, same-sex couple married in the state of New York moves to the state of Georgia, and they wish to exercise their rights as a married couple in Georgia that does not recognize their marriage. That case, whether it's Georgia, Alabama, or one of the 37 states that doesn't recognize same-sex marriage, is one of the next cases to go to the United States Supreme Court.
But it's one more barrier that's been knocked
Absolutely.
down on that
But that
road.
may be the final barrier unless 37 states change their constitutions between now and then. And that's what I'm hearing the Supreme Court say. Go back to the states and change it.
Now, the courts, we were just talking, the court really does seem to be just fixing little parts of
That's
things
right.
and taking the federal hand off of a lot of this
Well,
stuff.
yes and no. I mean, a strict constructionist view of the Constitution and Supreme Court power, which is held by Justice Roberts, the Supreme Court Chief Justice, is if the Supreme Court doesn't have to rule, we're sending it back to you guys to fix, like the Voting Rights Act, back to Congress, reformulate. Or we're going to rule just narrowly on what we believe is brought in front of us, but no more than that. So in all four rulings, you could find that trend there.
Okay, say I'm half of a gay couple here in Georgia. I've got to go to a state where it's recognized
That's
as a
right.
marriage to get
That's right.
married. But even if I move back home here to Georgia, I can't have the federal benefits.
You can have federal benefits and you can't have state benefits. In New York, you have both.
You have both.
And now, and possibly in California, by striking down Prop 8, by finding, again, a narrow ruling by Chief Justice Roberts. It's almost con law 101 that says, you know, the party that brought this lawsuit, you didn't have the right to bring this lawsuit. You had no skin in the game. You weren't an aggrieved party under this law. Go back to the court. The lower federal court had struck Proposition 8, which ruled that in California, only a man and a woman could get married under their constitution. That's been stricken. So if California reinstates its legalized same-sex marriage law, it will be in effect.
Could there be a point where somebody brings a case before the Supreme Court and they're like, okay, fine, we'll make it legal in every state in the union?
I don't think you'll ever see a ruling like that. The court is going to rule on that individual party's issue with whatever state law it starts with. And now the more broader, the more states that law impacts, or that ruling would impact, yes. And I think that's what people don't understand about the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is not there to, in my also view, doesn't issue broad, we're going to change how all this has been done.
Sure.
No, the legislature is closest to the people. It's their job to create laws, Supreme Courts to interpret.
All right, Ray Giudice, as always,
Thank you.
making sense of it all for
That's
us.
right.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
you.